Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Gavin Reads It All, and welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of my library challenge series. Just a little catch-up session. My library challenge is essentially just going to my local library every month and using a challenge or a prompt to pick any book in the library. And I did this challenge last year, but this year it is different because I've been asking my BookTuber friends to send me a little prompt or a challenge every month that I have to follow, and I have to try and find a book to fit that prompt or challenge. So far I have done January, February, March. That was in episode 1, and I got the beautiful Steph from Stephanie Bookish and Jade from JD Rereads and Aaron from Booked and Busy to give me the challenges for the first 3 months of 2025. So now it is time for the next 3 months, which will be covering April, May, and June. And it is currently April 28th today, so I really do need to move my ass with the April challenge. But as always, life gets a little bit in the way. I only just came back from China last week as well, so it's been a little bit chaotic. Speaking of, I still need to let you know what my April challenge is. So let's go back in time. Let's travel the globe together, and I will see you in China to find out what the April challenge is. I love that Becca is gonna wing this. Okay, so welcome to the April challenge. I'm currently in China with my babe, Becca, from Becca in the Books. So do you want to introduce yourself and what you do on your channel, and let me know what the April challenge might be?
Yeah, so I'm Becca from Becca in the Books. I mainly read fantasy, sci-fi, a little bit of fantasy romance, and some regular romance as well. I'm mostly right now known for my series that I'm doing called Shelve It or Scrap It, which is where I'm trying to get a bunch of books onto my shelves by reading through them, because I have like too many books, and it's like a challenge. It's really fun. You should check it out.
Yep.
But back in the day, I also did Bookopoly.
Yeah.
So my challenge for you is to do a dice roll roulette.
Oh!
But the dice roll roulette is that you have to roll 2 6-sided dice, and whatever number you get, each dot represents 50 pages, and you have to read a book that is the length that you roll. So for the Bookopoly-thon, which is a readathon I do based on Bookopoly, there is a chart in the guide, do you remember, that tells you, like, based on what you roll, that's how many pages your book has to be. So you're going to have to go find that, and you can, like, insert it so people can see. But yeah.
Oh my god, that's so fun. So Becca did actually pick a really fun prompt to do, and I do have open the October 2023 Spookopoly-thon guide, and this is where it has the dice roll roulette in it, and like it is like so fun. So it is inspired by Dice Prince, and you do roll 2 dice. Each dot represents 50 pages. So you pick a book that has a similar length to the number you rolled. Can't find a book to fit the correct page numbers. Find a book as close as possible to the length you need. So I will be using this like kind of table here to do that. And I will use this virtual dice roller to roll the dice to see exactly what I'm doing. So as you can see here, if I get a 2, I read less than 124 pages, which would be awesome. That would genuinely be pretty awesome. But then you see, like, for roll 3, it's 125 to 174, and then so on and so forth, up to 12. I'm hoping I do not get 2 6s. I really am. If anything, I would love to maybe get to, well, up to 8. If it's going to be over 8 in total, I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be so upset. I feel like 8, like up to 8, like 424 pages. That seems to be like the magic number at the minute. I'm in the middle of reading It by Stephen King right now. That's over 1,000 pages. And then I have another Stephen King book to read that's over 900 pages. So I would love to read something a little bit smaller. So let's go to the dice roller here, the virtual dice roller. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know if it like really works. We're going to find out together. Let's see what the number's going to be. Oh, it's a 6. We got 6 in total, which means I get to read a book between 275 and 324 pages. Yes! So I will be going to the library and I will be looking through different books. I have no idea, because I can't really research this, because sometimes even like looking at a page count online, it might give me a different page count. So what I'm going to do is, like, this is the plan of action for April. I'm going to go into a library, and I will just like flick through loads of different books that maybe pique my interest when I'm like looking at them spine on and what have you. Like, I don't have any kind of book in mind, because this could be any book, really, as long as it fits between 275 and 324 pages. So that will be really, really awesome to do. I'm also going to be trying 3 different libraries that I've never been to before in this episode too. So in episode 1, I let you know that my local library has been closed for renovations and it won't be opening until the summer, which might be around about June, July, which will probably be like at the very end of like this episode or like start of next episode. But I think I would like to try 3 different libraries that I've never tried before in this episode and kind of do like a little bit of a scavenger hunt. And like, I feel like that could be pretty fun too. And at least it also utilizes more libraries in my local area. I mean, I say they're in my local area. Some of them are a bit of a trek. I don't drive, and it might take me between 1 and 2 hours to go to these libraries, especially if I take public transport. But I think that's going to add another layer to this video, and then hopefully my local library will reopen in episode 3. So I do still need to take the book back that I borrowed in March. I did renew the loan so that I'm not taking it back late, because it was due back while I was away in China, but I renewed it, so no late fees here or anything. But I think it's about time that we start episode 2 properly. So please give this video a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will also leave a playlist to all the previous episodes down below if you want to check them out. So I am on my way to a new library today, and I had to send off a form to sign up for a new library card, and I need to go in the library, bring proof of address, which I hope my council tax bill will do the job. I'm also going the opposite way I go to the gym, so it's like the same path, but like this is like the opposite direction, which is kind of nice. So like one way takes me to a different library, the next takes me to my gym. And yeah, this one isn't part of the main library system that I use, so it's not one that I can really get to. It's a really small one. I think it's volunteer-led, which is great. Honestly, I don't mind using those, because there was one where I used to live when I lived with my mum, and I have a library card for there, so I might have to go back at some point. I haven't been there in a couple of years, but it's still a bit of a walk, so I'm already out of breath. There are so many books as well, not great. But yeah, let's go to this library. Fingers crossed the library card application works. I literally just sent it off before I left as well, so I don't even know if it went through or anything. But yeah, we need to find a book between, what was it again, 275 and 324 pages. Easy peasy. We've got this. I have no idea what the selection here is like either, but it's absolutely fine. As long as there's at least one book, I consider that a good library. Shout out to Jane for getting me my brand new library card. I think this is my third one now. So I'm collecting these library cards as if they were Pokemon cards. Yeah, huge shout out to Jane for signing me up. Honestly, it's so lovely there. It is volunteer led, which sometimes I don't really know the difference between too much. So if there are any librarians watching this, can you let me know like the difference between like a volunteer led library and a one that I guess, you know, the whole difference is the fact that it is volunteer led. Like the people who work there are there on their own time. Oh, you're not... Why are you eating now? All I'm hearing is your mouth sounds and I hate it. Look at him. So fucking rude. So rude, Topu. So bloody rude. I'll wait till he's done. So before I tell you what book I picked for the April prompt, I was talking to the volunteers at the library, and as I was saying as well, it's such a nice atmosphere, and there were people just sitting talking, and it just felt so like welcoming and so lovely. But I was talking to the volunteers there, and there was like a book sale at the front, and I was like, oh, do you accept book donations? And they were like, oh my gosh, yes, like it would be so helpful to have book donations. And like they were saying, oh, whenever they get like new books, they will check to see if they can put it on the shelves and like prioritize that, and anything they can sell, they will sell. And I was like, I've been holding on to boxes and boxes and boxes of books for months, waiting to donate them to my local library that is still closed, and they couldn't accept any donations before because they were closing for refurbishment. So I was going to have to like retry again when they reopen this summer. I was like, please, like, let me know, like, do you accept donations and can I donate books? And they were like, yes, they would love that. And I was talking to them about all the, like, the fairy loot books that they could probably sell and all the special editions. They had no clue what I was talking about. But I was like, just trust me, a lot of these are viral on TikTok. You can make some money off it. And I said, I'm too lazy. Like, I can't be bothered to sell these online. I would rather give them to you guys. I would rather give them to the library so they can sort it all out. So what I need to do is remake a list that I sent to Bleeding Library. I've got so many more books on this list now. So I need to remake the list, go through the boxes of I need to show you actually, this is like ridiculous. Go through the boxes of books that I want to donate. And like at this moment in time, I do think it's like probably like 400 books or something. And the books that I unhauled in February, yeah, I think February, they're in my bath. So this is my bathroom. I have had nowhere to put the books that I unhauled in February. And so they are all here. They are all here, and I don't even use the bath. I always just go in the shower in my bedroom, so I never use this anyway. I'm not a big fan of baths, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't mind too much about these being here, but I do want them gone. So I'm gonna go through these boxes, write down everything that's in them, and, you know, let them know if it's worth something. Because, yeah, they were like, sorry, we have no idea what you're talking about, like romantasy, TikTok, like, no idea. So I'm gonna, like, let them know what I think they could probably get for like these books and stuff. And yeah, send them an email, say if they want to take nearly all of them. They did say like they would take pretty much anything. So that would genuinely be so helpful. And then all the books I was going to donate to my local library last year are just in the cupboard downstairs. But honestly, it's been, what is it now? 8 months, nearly 9 months since, you know, I said I wanted to donate those books. And like, I can't really hold on to them much longer. And so I would rather donate to a volunteer-led library that I've just discovered, because it just seems so lovely and so nice. And I know they're going to, you know, put a lot of them on the shelves, because I was going through the selection and they have a great selection. They could do with a little bit new blood, you know, and I think they would definitely like put them on the shelves, maybe to, I don't know, like boost popularity for the library as well. Because honestly, it was such an undiscovered gem of a library, and it would be nice if more people knew it was there. So yeah, I hope it's okay that I'm going to donate to this library instead of the other library. But the other library is part of the library system, like the proper main central library funded system. So I feel like the volunteer-led library would benefit from it. Anyway, I'm talking in circles. Let me tell you what I picked for my April prompt. So I ended up picking 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton. I had no idea what this was about. I'd never seen this before, never heard of the author before, and I kind of like the idea of that. And even better, it is 305 pages, which fits between that 275 and 324 page kind of prompt that I had. And this sounded like it would be a heartbreaking but really fascinating read. especially one that I'd never heard of before. But yeah, it's set in rural Somerset. There's a blizzard and the unthinkable happens. The school is under siege. So children barricade themselves inside classrooms, the library, the theatre. Headmaster lies wounded in the library, unable to help his trapped students and staff. And outside, a police psychologist must identify the gunman, while parents gather desperate for news. In 3 intense hours, all must find the courage to stand up to evil and save the people they love. So obviously, like, that is very topical. So I've never read a book like this before. And again, it fits within that page bracket. So I was able to get it. So that is one brand new to me library that I'm covering in this episode. I have just eaten pesto pasta and I hate how it makes my teeth feel. I've just had to brush my teeth. It's the middle of the day. But this is why I don't eat pesto pasta all that often. I just feel grimy and nasty. I also have a hair appointment at the start of June because his hair is really starting to get a little bit too long. Just needs a little bit of a trim. Just needs to be tidied up a bit. And I still need to make that list for the library as well and send that off. I've just been all over the place, so I will get that done. I might try and get it done today, potentially, because the earlier I send off that list, the earlier I can get those books out of this house. I do apologize if I don't really do a whole lot of B-roll or other things as I'm reading these books. I am filming different things at different times and it's getting a little bit confusing right now. And I think I just want to prioritize showing you these libraries that I'm going to in this video, because I could just like sit there and pretend I'm reading with some B-roll music on, but I'm not going to do that. So I did mention what this one is about, and it really is a rather difficult read. What I think this book does brilliantly is that it really does highlight and demonstrate the fundamental racism in the UK and what it has against refugees, a lot of Muslims, while also having a situation that isn't really prevalent in the UK. We don't really get school shootings here. It's not as common as it is in other countries. And well, firstly, this novel, it does start off straight away. The first thing that happens is the headmaster getting shot. So like, it starts literally in the thick of the action. And this whole siege thing does take about 3 hours, but we also like maybe go back in time like an hour or something like leading up to it. We follow different people as well to get like different perspectives on what is going on in this situation. So you do have like, for instance, a parent of one of the shooters, you know, and like how they refuse to believe that their son could do that. And it was extremely emotional reading like these different perspectives, honestly, because I don't think I will ever be in that situation where I have to worry about someone in a school. I mean, obviously I can't predict that. It's like one of the most terrifying things you could think of. And I do still have nieces and nephews who are at school, but I feel rather lucky being in the UK that it isn't something that happens every day. And I can only imagine what goes through your head when you have someone who is there, whether that's a victim or the actual perpetrator. And so I think it did a brilliant job at looking into, like, for instance, the mother and the guilt that she feels and the questioning of that. Like, how does somebody become that way? And you know, you feel like you see the signs and you just don't. And then there are other examples when people do see the signs and just couldn't still fathom what they were about to do. So you just have so many different perspectives. But I do think this book, I'm sweating so much as well. It's like so hot. This book, though, I think it really thrives when it delves into how refugees belong in the UK. Like, they really do. And I think like people from all different religions, especially Muslims, belong in the UK. Like, that is my stance. And I think that's definitely highlighted in this book too, because you see the opposition to that. You see the people who are against that, and you see how wicked those people are. You see how awful they are. And you never ever feel, at least in my opinion, like you could ever see their side of it. One of the things is you try and rationalize what they're doing. You try and make reason. Like, I feel like it's such a human thing to be like, well, why is that happening? Because when you know why something is happening, you can stop it from happening in the future, or you can just like see the signs more and stuff like that. But sometimes someone can give you a reason for something and it makes no sense. And it's just senseless. And it's one of those tragedies, and it's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. And I do really feel like this book delved into that so beautifully. There is this urgency to the narrative. Definitely a really well-written story. One that does jump around a little bit, so you do have to kind of pay attention and follow. But yeah, it's such a interesting one because, yeah, I've never read anything like this before. It really does encapsulate a moment in time. And it's a moment in time that I would never, ever want to ever visit or see, but I do think it's so super important and crucial to be able to do that. And I feel like books are such an amazing way of doing that, which is why libraries are so fantastic as well, because you do get to see books like this that you can check out for free and, you know, all of that good stuff. This is a story that just starts straight away and it doesn't ever really stop. And I definitely appreciated that because I was still able to show you things that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to see. And you also see the side of things of the police trying to find out who the perpetrators are and why they're doing it. They're investigating, they've got their suspects. So you do see that side of it too. So there are just so many different facets to what this story is doing and saying. So with that said, I will give this one 4 stars. It isn't one of my favorites. It's not a book I would ever want to revisit. It's one of those ones where, yeah, like, you know, Grave of the Fireflies, Studio Ghibli, like that is such a heartbreaking film. You understand why it exists, of course, but it is that sad that you just kind of never really want to watch it again. Or, I mean, maybe you do, I'm not judging. And that's the same kind of deal with this book for me. Like, I read it and I appreciate it. Not a favorite of mine, and not a scenario I would ever really want to read again or anything like that, but super grateful to my library for stocking this so that I could read it and then put it back and let someone else read it too. So that is the April pick done, and it's me. One of these days I will finish on time. Look, we never ever finish things on time. It's a given at this point. It's part of the charm of the library challenge. Keeping things on brand, it is nearly the end of May. It is currently May 22nd, and I do need to move my ass when it comes to my May library challenge. What can I say? I just like to keep things interesting, keep things high stakes. And my gorgeous BookTube friend who I picked for the May challenge sent me her video like a little while ago now, and I'm like, I need to be better at this. And I've just been dying to watch it to find out what the prompt is, what the challenge is. But I've been very good, okay? So I'm about to react to it for the very first time with you. So let's say hello to my May pick, Riley Marie.
Hi Gavin, I'm so excited to be giving you a prompt for your library challenge. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Riley and you can find me on my channel, Riley Marie. So for your library challenge, Gavin, I want you to put your trust in your favorite authors. So what you need to do is go to the library and find a book that has a author quote on it, a blurb, from an author that you love. I love when I pick up a new book and I see one of my favorite authors wrote a little quote on the front, and I immediately know I'm in a good place, I'm in a safe place. So we're gonna find out if your favorite authors can be trusted. I hope you have fun. I hope that you end up loving the book. And again, if you don't, it's not my fault. It's your favorite author's fault.
I've never done that before. I've never let one of my authors or my favorite authors pick a book for me. I always end up ignoring the author blurbs because part of me is like, do they really read it? Or did they just like read a chapter and was like, yeah, this is a masterpiece. This is a rip-roaring ride of a book. They fucking love to use that term, rip-roaring. What the fuck does that mean? But that is actually so fantastic for me because it's something I've never done before. So Riley, thank you so much. And it does mean I will have to really look at all of the books that I, you know, when I'm looking at the spines, I'm like, that's interesting. That looks like something I could read. Should we just like try it, like in general? Like I'll just pick a random book off my, you know, this is just like a practice run. This is a practice run. So let's just pick a random book that I haven't read yet on my shelves now, just like this random one. Is there someone on here? Okay, S.J. Watson. Don't know them. C.L. Taylor, don't know them. Okay, I don't know anyone on there. The Lamb, maybe. Benjamin Myers, Kirsty Logan. Oh gosh, there's so many on the back. Obviously, I can't read this because it's from my home library. I need to pick it from my actual library. But I just want to see an example, you know, just so I can go in with confidence when I go to the library. And I don't know a single person on here. Fuck it. Okay, Riley, you may have fucked me over. I'm not going to lie. And this is my home library. You know what? I'm just going to give up. Why ruin it when I could just do it for the first time in the actual library? Okay, so I'm going to stop doing that now. And I'll take you to the library. Not today, though. Not today. I'm having a little bit of an off day today. I will try and make a list of authors. Oh, this is a great idea as well, actually. I'll make a list of authors who I would consider a favorite. And I will make the list. And we will go to the library with this list of authors. And one of these authors has to be on that book, blurbing it. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, Riley, I love you. Okay, I've been trying to research a good library that I could go to that is going to be different. And this one is definitely going to be a little bit different. So I have looked at Dunstan Library, and it's inside an activity centre. And I've looked on the website as well to see how I can sign up for a library card. There is genuinely no information about that. No information whatsoever. So I'm just going to rock up. I'm just going to hope for the best and hope that I can actually check a book out. It is like the next nearest library to me. There is another library that is also within pretty much the same distance. It is like a 1 hour and 20-minute walk, so I will be getting an Uber. But there's another one in the opposite direction that is like pretty much the same time. But that one is open until 12:30, and then it reopens at like 2 until 4. So I might try that one I say next month. It's June. It is June. I'm late. I'm always bloody late. You know what? I think next episode's challenge is going to be actually finishing the monthly challenges within that month. That will be the next challenge. I can't believe I've got like a challenge for the challenge. But anyway, going back to the prompt, and I can't really do favorite authors because I don't even know myself if I have favorite authors. I don't even know what my favorite book of all time is, for instance. Like, I'm having a genuine identity crisis when it comes to, you know, like who my favorite authors are, what my favorite books are. I couldn't give you a list. And I mean, I could probably say like J.R.R. Tolkien because Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite books of all time now, but I don't think J.R.R. Tolkien is blooming anything. So I will now do like a kind of authors I've given 5 stars to, I think might help. And I might try and like stick to this list when I go to the library, but because it will be a small library and the options will be quite limited, it might be a little bit harder if I do stick to, well, I'll just give you a list of authors I've given 5 stars to over the last couple of years. And there's definitely more as well, but these are just like some of the more immediate people I can think of. So we have Alice Oseman, Stephen King, Suzanne Collins, M.L. Wang, Matt Dinnerman, Sarah Gran, Octavia A. Butler, James Islington, one of the two, Kennedy Ryan, Tananarive Dew, Callie Hart. So middle grade, we have Laura Ellen Anderson, Sophie Anderson, Jamie Littler, Michelle Harrison. Also not middle grade, Benjamin Stevenson, Scott Lynch. And this is going back to like around about like 2023. So, Scott Lynch. Wait, hang on, that's Eliza Locklamora. I didn't give Eliza Locklamora 5 stars. Okay, 4.5 stars. Authors I've given 4.5 to 5 stars. I'm like literally surprised at my own list. I literally just wrote it. And I was like, anyway, yeah, I might try and stick to like this list as much as possible, but at the same time, yeah, my options might be limited. So I will, you know, just have a look at a lot of books that have been blurbed by authors I know, and maybe like see if I have given one of their books at least a 4.5, I think. Because I am a little bit hard to please sometimes. So sometimes I don't give 5 stars, I'll give 4.5 stars. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It does look like the heavens are going to open and it's going to piss down, but I don't really have another day where I can go out and do this. So if I get wet, I get wet. Story of my life, what can I say? But I'm excited. I'm always excited to start a new library challenge and also go and visit a new library. Like, that's amazing. I'm also still waiting for a response from Jane from the previous library. To be fair, I did get a response from one of her colleagues saying that she's on holiday, so I hope she's having a great time. But I will keep you updated again on the books that I want to donate because I want them gone. I've had them for far too long. I also passed my local library just the other day and there is more scaffolding up than ever before. So I'm like, this library is not reopening this summer. I do not think. It said reopening this summer. I doubt it. But hey, at least it's getting done and I hope it looks absolutely gorgeous when it reopens. Very excited for that. But yeah, anyway, I better order this taxi and hope that I can check a book out. Welcome to Dunstan Library. My first time here. Very excited. Hope it's good. Opening hours. Can't tell when it opens and closes. Okay. So this isn't a activity center. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Hiya, yeah, you? It's my first time using the library. Do I need to sign up for a library card? I've got like...
The library's this.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I did want to actually speak in the library, but I'm deciding to do a voiceover instead because it was so quiet and I didn't want to disturb because there were a couple of people working, which was lovely. But yeah, this is such a nice little library. I definitely think a lot of the books here are books that were donated in the past, I think, because a lot of them were pretty old. And I was talking to the volunteers as well. This is a volunteer-led library also. And yeah, they were saying that they don't really get paid or anything. and a lot of books that they get are through donations. So I'm hoping when Jane gets back to me, she can let me know, because she did say any that they can't take, they can, you know, distribute to other libraries. So maybe some of them might end up here. So yes, I was looking for, you know, books with blurbs on them, like all the blurbs on them. And I'm not gonna lie, most of the books that I saw had, you know, like literary magazine quotes or quotes like that, you know, from like Kirkus Reviews. I think I saw a couple of those also, and barely really saw very many, you know, author blurbs. And because quite a lot of these books are quite, especially the young adult and the children's books as well, a lot of them are very old. So I feel like a lot of them didn't really have a lot of peer reviews, but still really cool to see, you know, a selection nonetheless. Oh, I did notice the Red Necklace by Sally Gardner. I thought that looked pretty cool. But yeah, the Times, a newspaper that was. So I can really pick that one for a blurbed one. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Starting a collection. Yeah, the librarians were absolutely lush. And yeah, I got my card. I got 4 library cards now, I think. So yeah, starting a collection indeed. And bless her heart, finding me in the children's section. She probably thought I was a right freak. But yeah, this is me looking very intently for a bloody book. It was genuinely harder than I thought. Like, I like Fern Cotton, don't get me wrong, but also, this was in the running because Oprah magazine. And I like Oprah. I'm telling you, I carried that around because I was like, I'm desperate. I might have to go for that one. And yeah, the closest thing I could get was Oprah. I like Oprah. I've never read anything by Oprah. I don't even know if Oprah has books, but I just knew I liked her, so I was like, why not? Oh, look at that old ass Princess Diaries book. I should really donate my collection, but they are battered and they have so many annotations in them as well. I don't think they would be allowed to take my Princess Diaries books. I was hoping in the sci-fi, horror and fantasy section that I would find a book that maybe Stephen King had blurbed, but genuinely the ones that I saw did not have very many blurbs and none of them were by Stephen King. This one I was very interested by. I actually did carry it around as well because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna carry it around too. But I was interested by that other one. Yeah, I was struggles. I did end up going back to the crime and thriller section because, yeah, I feel like the libraries in my local area are more big on crime and thriller. I really feel like those are the biggest genres in my area. So I don't really want to do all crime and thrillers, but it looks like for this episode, it might just have to be. So I did end up picking up Cut to the Bone by Roz Watkins, another book I have never heard of before. Another recurring theme in this episode is picking books that I've genuinely never heard of. In this one I haven't heard of, but it does have a blurb by C.J. Tudor, and I have read The Burning Girls, and I gave it 4 stars, wasn't a 5-star. So again, it's going against that list that I made. But at this point, I genuinely was just really desperate. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take it because I really did enjoy The Burning Girls when I first read it a few years ago. And yeah, this is a thriller. It's about a young social media star who goes missing in the Peak District, and it's the height of summer as well. So the media goes like crazy for this story. I believe we follow AI Meg, so I think we are following the police investigation. I think the main character will be a police officer investigating the case. I don't really know if I'm a big lover of that type of thriller book, but we're just going to see how we get on with it. Haven't heard any reviews, genuinely, and I'm kind of scared to look just in case. Shall we just have like the briefest of glances on Goodreads or Storygraph just to see if anyone I know has read it? Oh, okay. It is the 3rd book in the J.I. Meg Dalton series. I hope it can just read as a standalone. I'm sure it will. Oh, it only has 350 ratings and it has a rating of 4.09 on Goodreads. So not many people have read it. Came out in 2020, so it's not really that old. The one person who I am friends and following with gave it 2 stars. But none of my other friends or following have read it. It seems the majority of ratings are 4-star ratings. But yeah, not really a whole lot of people have rated or read this one. Okay, that hasn't put me off. That's good. Not that I would let it put me off anyway, but I was curious. I was so curious to see if anyone else had read this. And it doesn't look like it. But yeah, fingers crossed, I don't need to read the first 2 books to read this one. I read all of Cut to the Bone today. It is now 9:30 p.m. And yeah, I think I started this around about like 4. So it was a very fast, quick read. And with it being a thriller, definitely some of the fastest reads that I could possibly have. But I like this. It was good. It felt a little bit like watching a Midsummer Murders episode. If you don't know what that is, it is a British television show, and it's about like murders in like these small villages and stuff, and you have recurring main characters like police investigators. Can't remember their names. And because I read quite a lot of Agatha Christie, I don't mind having a detective protagonist. And so this was mostly the side of the investigation, while also having some flashbacks to 1999 with a storyline that does connect to the person who goes missing in this, the influencer. So the plot itself was very interesting. It also ties into like protesters, and there were several times when I couldn't quite tell who was possibly behind it, and I don't think I still got it by the end. It did get a little bit convoluted, but I feel like it did a good job at keeping things rather entertaining. And also by having Meg, who is the main character, who is the detective, and this is her series, she's actually a really good protagonist to follow. Like 3 books in, like I haven't read the first 2, but 3 books in, I feel like she does have quite a lot of chemistry with her co-workers, and you know, sometimes they'll have a little bit of like fun together. There's also really interesting mentions of a sister who died 25 years before, and at one point Meg is like, oh, I feel somewhat responsible and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit intrigued by that. So it does feel like a built universe, and I genuinely thought I wouldn't enjoy it as much. As soon as I found out it was a DCI Meg series and this was the 3rd book, I was starting to feel a little bit deflated, because I was like, I just don't think I'm going to end up enjoying this now then. Because I did think this would be like a good standalone thriller. And you know what? It could work as a standalone. The plot itself was very singular, despite having the recurring characters and that kind of rapport that I feel like has been built up over a couple of books that I do feel like is very genuine in this one. But yeah, the mystery itself was pretty good. It did take a direction I didn't quite expect. It was feeling a little bit soap opera-y, and I feel like it did border on the ridiculous at times too. There was this whole pale child kind of figure that would appear, and then if you see the pale child, almost like a ghost, like an urban legend, then if it sees your face, then you die. And that happened like a couple of times. So Mega's like, okay, is this ghost thing like actually real and stuff? That does also tie into it. But I was very fascinated by that angle too, because it felt like we had so many different things going forward, like different storylines that would come together by the end. So I couldn't quite figure it out, but I give it props for that. But it did border on the ridiculous at times. It really did. Something involving a pig towards the end to like get out of something, that I feel like maybe wasn't as believable as it was trying to come across as. But obviously without spoilers, but yeah, it involved a pig. I also appreciate the fact that, and trigger warnings for this as well, but this does deal with sexual assault. And I do appreciate the fact that with this line of work, you know, some officers might like question things, but it was so reassuring to me that Meg, as the main character, would kind of keep people right. As in, like, if somebody had a really bad take on somebody who has been sexually assaulted, for instance, like, why didn't they report it straight away? Or why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? We had Meg, who would literally speak facts and be like, well, you know, assault is different for everyone. Some victims aren't ready, and some victims may never be ready. So, you know, there was a lot of truth there, and it was so nice and reassuring to have a main character who would, you know, input that voice. There were some like really good progressive mindsets, especially with, I feel like a lot of these characters being a lot older. Like there was mention of a transgender child as well and how accepted they are. So that was a huge win for me too. And so I would give it, I think, a 3.5. It's not really my favorite kind of thriller because I don't think I was ever really truly thrilled by it. It had a good enough mystery, and I feel like I wouldn't mind reading more from this series and seeing more of Meg, but I also wouldn't mind not ever revisiting the world of Meg, you know? It's a balance, you know? I wouldn't be totally dismayed if I was like forced to read another book in the series, but I genuinely could probably go my life without reading another one. So thank you to this challenge for getting me to read a book that, again, never heard of before. Don't think I've ever heard of this author before either. And I got to experience a new library as well. And I am just so excited to find out what the hell the June challenge is going to be. I have literally been sitting on this video for nearly a week now since my June idol sent this video in. So I've been holding off. I really wanted to watch it, but I was like, no, I need to wait until I've done my May challenge and then I can watch it. So we're going to watch this together and let's see what the challenge is and who is giving me it.
Hello Gavin and friends, I'm Jesse and today I'm bringing you a TBR prompt. I feel like I have so much power right now. I could be really mean and evil, but I'm not going to be. Your prompt is to watch the first book unhaul that you see either on the YouTube homepage or your subscription feed and find a book or 2 or 3 to have some backup options within that video that you can check out from your library. I do want this to be a book that you might be interested in or one that you think that you might love. I'm not here to try and make you have a miserable reading experience, so make sure that it's something that you are interested in reading. I can't wait to see what you end up picking up and reading and also hearing all your thoughts. Hopefully they're good thoughts. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I hope so too. I also too. Oh God, thanks, Jesse. Okay, so watch an unhaul video that either pops up first on my recommended or subscription feed. I can absolutely do that. And maybe see if there's like 2 to 3 books on there that I fancy reading. That's awesome. Let's have a look at my subscription feed then. But before I do that as well, please check out Jesse the Reader. Freaking love. One of my original BookTube loves and inspirations. So yeah, I'm just over the moon that he said yes to giving me a challenge. Oh shit, Siri. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you, Siri. I'm talking to Jesse. So I am going to scroll down my subscriptions, see when the last book unhaul was done. I'm not going to show you my subscription feed. I've got some questionable stuff in there. AKA ASMR boyfriends. Yep, I've said it. I'm ashamed. I'm literally just scrolling past one now. ASMR muscle guard chest massage. So satisfying. This is why I can't show my subscription feed, okay? Can't do that. And then I scroll down a little bit to see Brie from Lockbooktition giving me such a judgmental stare for that. I recently just subscribed to a lot of Nintendo YouTube channels because I really want a Nintendo Switch too, but they are very hard to come by and expensive, and I just can't swing it. So instead I'm just watching people unbox it and just talk about it and review it. So I got so much that I'm like scrolling down. Okay, there's a book haul there. I feel like we might be here a while. Usually I see book unhauls every other day. And then as soon as I need one, crickets. Absolute crickets. Oh, massaging a bodybuilder's legs. ASMR you didn't know you needed. Oh, I knew I needed that. We may have to do a backup and search book unhaul in just whichever is the first one recommended after I search it. That's the one I watch. 3 days ago. I'm up to 3 days ago and still not an unhaul in sight. 4 days ago. ASMR hands all over his muscular chest. I don't think I'll find a book recommendation in there. Okay, I'm not finding anyone. So I'm just going to search book unhaul and we're just going to see who pops up first. Okay, we have a late night book unhaul by a model who's red. Okay, I love their vibe already. So let's see what books they are planning on unhauling. So we have The Crimson Road by A.J. Slatter. Never heard of it. You know what I have heard of? I've heard of Toberry's Come to Say Hello. Oh, I got him. Oh, say hello. You thought you could get away from me, didn't you? You're not fast enough. You're not fast enough. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Who is that you? Who is that you? Look at your beautifulness. Look at your beautifulness. Oh. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. So I can't say I'm interested in it. Lovely, Dark and Deep. Haven't heard of. Never Ever Getting Back Together. Is that the Katy Perry song? Sophie Gonzalez. Okay, let me take a screenshot of this. Maybe, potentially. I feel like I'm going to need some options because of, you know, the size of my libraries is quite small. So I feel like my options are going to be quite limited. Death Trap. Never heard of it. Oh gosh, Emily Henry. I ain't reading Emily Henry, okay? I ain't reading Emily Henry. Which one of those? I don't think I've read either of those, but I've read 2 Emily Henrys. I did not enjoy either of them. So I ain't doing that to myself. Finding Mr. Right, Kelly Armstrong. Haven't heard of it. Feel It All. Haven't heard of it. Also, go give this video a like. Thank you so much for this video and providing us with content and potentially get me a good book for June. Oh, Starling House, I think that is. Yes. I feel like I have it. I think I own this one. Okay. Oh, Fragile Enchantment. Oh, I have that one too. Okay, I feel like I got one from this one. I'm gonna, you know what, I might watch a couple just to see if I can get some options. I do love Hailey Jean. Let's see if Hailey has any for me too. Make sure I give those videos a like. We have, oh, what was that? Well, I don't think, no, not that. The one, where'd it go? The one that looked like it had a mane. They had time to get wet. Oh, is that just the back of Deep End? Oh, okay. I'm going to take a screenshot. I don't think you've seen my library. Or at least you've seen some in my local area. I don't think this is going to be there. Say You'll Remember Me? Is that the Sabrina Carpenter song? I do want to read Abby Jimenez though. So that could be a good one. Severed by Vengeance, haven't heard of it. Lipstick and Camera Clips, haven't heard of it. In a New York Minute, have heard of it, but I don't really want to read that one. This Spells Love, oh, that looks cute. Doubt my library will have it though. Heavenly Bodies, I have heard of it. I'm like, Okay, I feel like I got a couple from Hailey. Let's watch another one just in case. We do have My Love Sid, all of Cassandra Clare. I'm proud of you, girl. I'm proud of you. Ray Bearer, potentially. Oh, the Jasmine Throne. I have been interested in, actually. It is a little bit harder when it's like an unhaul with me because it's like very rapid fire. So I'm literally just clicking where I can. Are all of these ones that Sid is unhauling like right there? Oh, Slow Food I really want to read. Yeah, it looks like Slow Food is there, but I genuinely don't think my library would have that. All's Well, Mona Reward. You know, I'm just going to take a screenshot here as well. I want to come in with a list. I'm going to be so prepared. Because Slow Food, I have no, I don't. I don't have Mary. Maybe Mary then. Oh, do we have more here? Is it all of this? You know what? I feel like I want a few from Sid. Oh my God, Sid, you really went for it, didn't you? Oh, Ash, I'm working. Come on. Shall I tell you who I've been absolutely loving? KK. But also Where Is My Library Card on Instagram. I freaking love her. So let's see. Isaac's Song. Haven't heard of. But maybe my library will have it. P.S. I Hate You. Doesn't look like something I'd enjoy. Does it look like something you would enjoy, Ash? Oh, what's that? Oh, Sleep Tight. I have actually had my eye on that. So let's screenshot that one. Oh, Phantasma. I've read it. I actually enjoyed it. Oh, is that Falling? That I literally just saw at my library today. Falling? I think it is. Oh my God, I literally saw that book today at the library I was at. That could have been perfect for this challenge, but I'm using a different library. For June. The Center. Why does that ring a bell? I'll take a screenshot. I feel like I have heard, I think it's got a different cover in the UK. I think it's like a mouth. I think it's a mouth in the UK. Oh, A Little Life, don't. Oh, no, I'm never borrowing a Riley Sager book again in my life. I still have one on my shelves that I need to read, but as soon as that's read... Okay, I got quite a few there from various sources. So I'm going to write them down. I'm going to maybe try and research before I go to a brand new library to see if they'd actually have the books in and just run those titles through the database. See if they have them first. And then maybe that way I can see if a certain library does have it, then that can be the library I go to. So instead of me going to a library and saying what's there, I do it the other way around. I see out of these books where it is and then go to that library. Okay. But it has to be a library I haven't been to before. Okay. That is the June challenge. Okay, I'm still going through the books, but this is one of the first ones where it's actually in a new library. And yeah, Leam Lane, never been there before, but it's not due back until the 21st. And yeah, today's the 9th, so I don't think that's going to work. But this has Florence written all over it. We haven't seen Florence in a while, have we? I think she's back. I think she's back trying to reserve all these books that she knows I've seen in these Unhaul videos and I want to get from a brand new library. There have been a couple, like say the Centre, for instance. That one is in my local library. However, that library is closed. It does say actually as well, well, actually, take a look at this. Take a little gander at this. This smells like Florence. It is copy due back 6th of June. Well, look at that. She did this last year to me. Does anyone remember the February 2024 debacle? Overdue. Due back 6th of June. Yeah, that's Florence. In fact, wouldn't surprise me if both of them were Florence. Okay, Deep End by Ali Hazelwood seems like it might be my best bet because I haven't been to Bertley and I haven't been to Pilo. And it's apparently available in both of those. So I can see how far away those are from me and we can get Deep End. I did read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood years ago and I did like it, but I haven't read another Ali Hazelwood since. So it'd be cool to know if I do end up enjoying Ali Hazelwood, like if she's an author for me. But that cover is not as good as the cover that Hayley had. I want to make do, haven't I? And I think, what, did they come out in 2025? What came out this year? I think this is the most recent release I've ever read for a library challenge video. Or at least thereabouts. I have just come back from Pilo, and huge shout out to my sister because she ended up driving me. It was going to be a 15-minute drive or a 3-hour walk. I need to learn to drive, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to do that. Anyway, Pilo was lovely. Little story time as well. So I went in and I was looking at the shelves. I was looking under the name Hazelwood and I couldn't see it. And I was like, Florence. The bitch. So I went to the desk and the librarian, she was like looking as well and she was like, oh, it had been returned to Crow Crook. Now Crow Crook is the library that I went to in March. And she was like, oh, but you know, it should be here, but it was like returned to Crow Crook. So maybe it's still, you know, on its way, or it could have just been shelved somewhere else, or maybe it's in the quick choice section. So she got up, she literally went to the stand that was literally just behind me. The first book she pulled down, this was right behind it. This was right behind it. So Florence nearly had me. You know what, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if she returned it to Crow Crook. Okay, my arch nemesis Florence. If she returned this to Crow Crook and then she herself snuck into the Pilo library and put it behind another book. Because look, this is a 2025 release. This is brand new. This is brand new. There was no reason why that should have been behind that book. And yeah, it was like literally right behind it. So she tried to hide it from me. Can't get one over on my cancer. But yeah, I'm so glad I got it. Heard it's a TikTok sensation. It's very rare that I read those. So we follow Scarlett and she is a student athlete and she specializes in diving. And she just wants to keep her head down, concentrate on getting into med school. And then she meets the swim captain, the very disciplined Lucas. Apparently a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes. Pressure leading up to the Olympics as well. Oh, are they training for the Olympics? So we've got the Olympics going on, we've got med school going on. And this was the one from Hayley Jean's video, so I wonder why Hayley wanted to unhaul it.
I read this and I really, really did not like it. I DNF'd it, actually. It was my least favorite Ali Hazelwood book, so...
Oh no, Hayley Jean DNF'd it. Sheree didn't like it, her least favorite Ali Hazelwood book. It's all good. It's all good, okay? I am gonna love it, okay? I enjoyed Love Hypothesis. Fuck! And I've DNF'd it. I got to page 227. 227. And it got to around about like page 150 and I was out here, nothing's fucking happening. I'm so bored. I just want to get a few sex scenes down just so I know if this is something I need to DNF. And so the first 2 sex scenes happened. Oh my God, this is terrible. This is actually terrible. And then I got to the 3rd sex scene and I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to end it. And I had such high hopes for this as well because I didn't realize that this was actually going to be a story. And this isn't a bad thing either, but like I didn't realize this was going to be a story about like exploring kinks in BDSM. Does it fucking do that? No, it fucking does not. I actually would have loved to have explored that. I actually really enjoyed the kind of like respectful way you talked about it at the start of this book. Like it wasn't being looked down on, like no one was judging or anything. And it felt like something that, you know, could be a really cool thing to explore and see between these characters. Scarlett and Lucas, their chemistry, non-existent. Non-existent. Nothing happened between them for so long. And then, like, I don't even really like the whole circumstances of how they even got together in the first place. I just found that a little bit bizarre. And then we have this whole hoo-ha about Lucas not being able to feel satisfied with just regular sex, like vanilla sex. He isn't satisfied. Yet how do we have 3 sex scenes of him and Scarlett? Every single one of them was vanilla. It was vanilla. Everything they did, I could do to myself. And it's so funny as well because they made like a list and like, this isn't really going to be spoilers, okay? I guess it really just depends on what you consider spoilers. I don't think it's really big spoilers because this is really just going about like the sexual stuff, I guess. So maybe this is like, hey, heads up, more so than like this is spoilers or anything. But they share a list that we don't really get to see of things that they're into. And like they share and stuff. And the amount of times this is said in this book as well, oh, this is very 50 Shades. It was said at least 3 times by the time I DNF'd it. Very 50 Shades. 50 Shades of what? 50 Shades of having an orgasm in 2 strokes. Is that the 50 Shades that we're reading? Is that the 50 Shades that we're comparing ourselves to? Like, please make it kinky. I want it to be kinky. You're telling me they're into kink. You're having these discussions about BDSM. Nothing. We got nothing 227 pages in. And there's been absolutely nothing where it's actually come into practice. Maybe a later sex scene does that, but I'm like, they're honestly causing such a fuss. Like when you see like Lucas's story about like not having the sex that's satisfying to him, and he's having the exact same sex with Scarlett, and he's satisfied? What? The way he's calling her beautiful and so like, you're so beautiful. This was the first sex scene as well, by the way. This was the first one. I'm like, stop it with this tonal shift. You're wanting to be kinky and yet you're being so sickly sweet. And she can't say anything because she's like, she's too busy sucking him off. Now it's not the time or place to call her beautiful. And let's be honest, no one's looking beautiful as they're deep throating someone. Not even myself. I can admit to that. I just find it so jarring that they want to be a bit more adventurous and curious and all this and the other. And we're just absolutely not getting that. We're not getting that. False advertisement. The amount of times he says you're so fucking good over and over again. So fucking good at what line there? It's just basic foreplay. And he keeps asking as well, like, are you okay? Okay. Literally, it was the most basic of foreplay. There was a bit licking, a bit flicking, but nothing kinky kicking. It's just the whole like, oh, we don't want basic sex. And then they do basic sex. Why? Why waste my time? Why waste my time? In the amount of times as well, characters cock their head in this. I cocked my head. He cocked her head. She cocked her head. Lucas cocked his head. Stop cocking your head and get to the good cock. There was just nothing. Absolutely nothing. I felt nothing between Lucas and Scarlett. I just didn't even care about anything else that was going on. I didn't care about the whole diving stuff that was going on. I genuinely didn't care. I started to skim. I was so bored. Me and this Dr. Pepper and Cream soda, hotter than Scarlett and Lucas, if you ask me. Oh my gosh, I've just realized. June 2024, my library challenge prompt, I DNF'd. In June 2025, my pick for the library prompt, I'm DNFing. Is this a June thing? Is this a June thing? I'm starting to notice a pattern. Please let me know if you've read this. And I'm still on my sprints, by the way. I've still got 20 minutes left. Please let me know if you've read this. If it got better in terms of like the sexing, does it actually get kinky? I'm not saying I'd give it another chance because I'm not. I would still give Ali Hazelwood another chance. I do own Love on the Brain, which I haven't yet read. So I do still want to read this. I still own this. but that could be the very last one that I ever read. Although a lot of my patrons have said Check and Mate have been like their favorite Ali Hazelwood books, so maybe that one could be a good one to check out from the library in the future. I will not buy it. Just like I'm glad that I got this out of the library because I never would have bought it. Despite liking Love Hypothesis, I don't really want to buy more Ali Hazelwood books unless I know I'm going to love it. Whereas when I bought Love on the Brain, I think it was just after I read Love Hypothesis. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to get this. And I've definitely been better at purchasing books since. So yeah, DNF unfortunately for my June prompt. But that's fine because we still have 6 more months in the year. And in episode 3, I will be covering July, August, and September. So I will be having 3 more gorgeous, sexy people giving me prompts and challenges, which I have no idea what they're going to be. But half the fun is finding out. So hopefully they give me good challenges. And who knows, maybe my local library will reopen by the next episode or during the next episode. And hopefully Jane comes back from holiday soon and replies with like these books so I can actually donate them and get them out of my house. I'm sick of having these unhauled books in my house. Get them out, please. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if you enjoyed any of the books that I read. Let me know if you have any suggestions for upcoming people that I ask, like booktubers that I can ask for future challenges. I would love to know your thoughts. And also I will have Becca, Riley, Marie, and Jessie linked down below. So please do check them out. Please do show them all the support for giving me such amazing challenges for this episode. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons as well for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.